the way to join yarn that we're going to discuss in this tutorial is good for any yarn. It creates an almost invisible join and it does not add bulk to the project. And that makes it especially useful for joining chunky yarn. Because the join is almost invisible, we can attach a new ball of yarn right in the middle of the row. And that means we don't have to discard meters of yarn just because we have to attach yarn at the beginning of the row. In addition to all of that, once we are done with the join, there are no tails left to weave in. How amazing is that, right? Are you already convinced it's worth a try? Let's get to it. First, I want to show you the end result. This swatch has yarn joined right in the center of it. And if you look closely, the only thing you will see would be specks of fiber that mark two spots where the yarn was joined. And that's all. And even those signs would disappear once you start using the project. They will simply blend into the fabric. This type of join works best for joining yarn of the same color, but to make it clear for you what's happening in this join, I will use a contrasting color so you can clearly see what's going on. First, work until you have a tail that is about 20 centimeters, 8 inches long. So you could measure it if you wish, but I usually use the distance between my thumb and index finger. I know it's about 18 centimeters. So about this long is good. If your yarn is slippery, then leave a longer tail. Then undo the plies, untwist them to divide the strand in half, just like this. And then measure about the same length of the new yarn, the one that you plan to attach, and do the same. Simply untwist the plies. Just like this. Now take one of the plies of the new yarn and attach it to one of the plies of the old yarn so that the knot stays at the very bottom of the stitch that was the last stitch you worked in the row. So it would be the first stitch from the tip of the right needle. And attach these two plies with a square knot. So they're quite secure. Just like this. Now leave these tails, put them aside so they don't get in the way, and take the other ply of the old yarn and this same ply that is already attached of the new yarn. And then we need to twist them. And it's best if we repeat the same twist as the yarn already has. To make sure you do that, see how the yarn is twisted. So place the other strand to the side and then place this strand, the one that's going to be twisted around it, so that it creates like a inverted Z. See, it has like a Z sign just on the in the mirror version of it. And when you get this Z sign, that means you're on the right track, and you can continue and twist the yarns, and then you will get a perfect twist. Even if you do it in the other direction, it's not really a big deal, but it will be the twist won't be as tight. So we twist the yarns along the whole length of these tails and then tie them loosely with just one simple knot, just like this. And that's it for now. Now use this newly twisted yarn to make a few stitches. Continue to work in the pattern, whatever pattern is, and stop when you come almost to the second knot. So I will stop here because I know this little piece won't be enough to finish a stitch. So that's where I stop. In my case, I'm gonna untwist these yarns because I want to bring this strand as close to the bottom of this stitch as I can, because we're gonna make a second knot there. So I will twist this one a bit. It's really hard to guess exactly how much yarn you will need because there are a lot of things that could affect that. It's better to you know, to do things as you go. So bring both tails over here and tie them with a square knot this time. Just like this. And bring the knot as close to the bottom of the last stitch as you can. I mean the last stitch that you worked so far. And that's it. Then use the new yarn to finish the row and to continue working. Once you finish a few rows, then you can trim the tails. For now, let them just hang there. See, they're just hanging here. And I'm gonna work another row and then we'll trim them. Or you can do it at the very end when the project is finished and you're weaving in tails, and instead of weaving in these ones, you simply cut them. That's much easier, right? So I'm gonna work this row to show you how to trim the tails. Not that it's something very unusual, just to show you exactly how the join will look after we are done with it. Okay, here we go. Before you cut the tails, make sure, pull the strands to make sure that the knot is secure enough. And once you do that, then simply trim them. You can trim them as close to the knot as you can, but I usually leave a tiny itty bitty tails as an extra insurance that the yarn will not unravel, so the strands will stay put together. And that's it. Now the yarn is securely joined. As you see, this way to join yarn is a bit tedious, but the clean look you create is totally worth it. And having no tails to weave in is a nice bonus, right? To download this tutorial as a set of step-by-step photo instructions, follow the link in the description. Thank you for watching this video and have a wonderful week. I'll see you next Thursday.